In just a few minutes, President Obama meets with Republicans on the debt ceiling. So what exactly is his plan? Former Clinton advisor Bernard Whitman is here with us in New York. Bernard, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Thank you very much for having me, Stuart.
Now, look, I asked two Democrats yesterday, Ellis Hennigan and Marianne Marsh. I said, look, what is the president's Medicare plan? How is he going to cut Medicare? What is the plan? They could not answer. Can you?
The president actually has not consulted me or shared his Medicare cut strategy, but I can tell you it's very clear that the administration, the Democrats, have a three-pronged approach to dealing with the deficit. I don't understand, frankly, why the Republicans are playing political chicken with our national debt.
Is the president prepared to cut Medicare?
Well, I would say he ought to be prepared to cut defense far more than he initially suggested.
No, I'm not asking
versus
about
Medicare.
defense. I'm asking, this was in the Washington Post this morning, that the president is prepared to reduce Medicare spending. Is that accurate?
That very well may be. I can tell you the one way to reduce Medicare is not to change it into a voucher system. You saw what happened to the Republicans in upstate New York.
At least we know what the Republicans' plan is.
And it is dead on
plan.
arrival. If, in fact, they ride that Medicare voucher plan into the fall elections, you might as well cede control of Congress back to the Democrats. Look what happened in upstate New York. Americans do not want Medicare to be replaced by vouchers.
You're totally skirting the issue. There's no plan.
You haven't got a plan. The Democrats do not have a plan. Tracy's right. You haven't got a plan, have you?
To cut Medicare? Not on the table yet. You know why? Because...
Well, why not? You're in the middle of these debt reduction talks. There's a deadline very fast approaching. Medicare is the gorilla in the pack.
No,
which is
actually, you know what, Stuart? You know what,
and you have no plan.
Let me tell you what the plan is. The plan is a three-part targeted plan that is very smart. We have to have smart targeted cuts, particularly in defense. We ought to cut $700 billion out of defense. And Cantor said, you know what? I'll take tax increases if there's offsetting spending cuts. So I'll tell you where you get $700 billion. $700 billion cut from defense, $700 billion by getting rid of the Bush-era tax cuts on the wealthy. And the third thing I would do is to raise the retirement age to 68%, which would cut the Social Security deficit by 29%.
Those are all non-starters.
No, that's absurd. Why are they non-starters?
You want to roll back the Bush tax cuts when you're president?
For the wealthy.
When President Obama okayed the continuation of those precise tax cuts in November of last year and December of last year.
Right. That is a short-term deal to preserve the tax cuts for the middle class.
In the middle of a very weak economy, you want to raise
income taxes?
Let
me explain why.
You think
the richest 1% have seen their effective tax rate gone down over 30 years, despite the fact that their incomes have tripled.
But 40% of taxpayers don't pay any tax because of the earned income tax credit.
And should we be doing anything to risk job creation? Bernard, should we be doing anything at this moment to risk job creation? And that is a risk, that if you raise taxes on the wealthy, they will have less money to hire people. Should we be doing anything to risk job creation?
You're not going to default
Job creation is job number one for the president.
Republicans fail to admit that we have to have targeted tax increases. Then, in fact, there could be a default, and it's on the Republicans' watch.
I want to hear an answer to David's question, which was, should we be doing anything right now that jeopardizes jobs?
Absolutely.
A tax increase on no matter who jeopardizes jobs.
No, I fundamentally disagree with the premise. The assumption
there's no chance that raising taxes on the wealthy will hurt job creation. No chance at all. You're giving me your guarantee. I don't take that guarantee because I've seen in the past how every time you do raise taxes on the wealthy, you have less incentive to hire more people.
I thought trickle-down economics, where we cut and cut and cut taxes on those who make the most amount of money, I thought that went out in the 80s.
You're willing to give us your guarantee. The president is not. The president is not willing to give a guarantee that that won't have some effect on job creation. You think it will have no effect on job creation?
I'm saying net, if we have targeted tax increases to the wealthy with targeted spending cuts.
Well, I hope the president listens to your former boss, Bill Clinton, who says we should lower tax rates on corporations down at least to 25%. That's a good suggestion.
And a payroll tax holiday, I think that's a good idea.
I'm flat out of time, but we appreciate being with us. Bernard Whitman, everybody, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Stuart.